Across the plains of time, a grand experiment took root. A nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. This is the story of the United States of America, as seen through the lives and legacies of its presidents. From the towering figure of George Washington to the leaders of the modern era, each president has left an indelible mark on the nation's destiny. Let us journey back in time to witness the challenges they faced, the triumphs they celebrated, and the enduring legacy they have bequeathed to us. Our journey begins in the cradle of a new nation, a time of revolution and immense possibility. George Washington, a figure of almost mythical stature, emerges from the battlefields. He is a reluctant leader, yet his steady hand guides the fragile nation through its infancy. We see him in his time, through portraits and documents, the weight of a nation's hopes resting upon his shoulders. The very image of Washington, etched in stone and painted on canvas, becomes a symbol of unity and purpose. Thomas Jefferson, the architect of the Declaration of Independence, succeeds Washington. A man of great intellect and contradictions, his vision of an agrarian republic clashes with the realities of a growing nation. Yet his Louisiana Purchase doubles the size of the young nation, forever altering its destiny. We see his words penned on parchment, shaping the very fabric of American governance. Andrew Jackson, a frontiersman and war hero, ushers in an era of populism. He is a man of the people, but his presidency is also marked by controversy, particularly his treatment of Native Americans. Jackson's legacy is a reminder that the story of America is not always a simple narrative of progress. His image, often depicted on horseback, embodies the spirit of westward expansion and the complex relationship between the nation and the indigenous peoples it displaced. The year is 1861, a pivotal moment in American history. Dark clouds gather over the nation, casting long shadows over its future. The issue of slavery threatens to tear it apart, creating a chasm between the North and the South. Abraham Lincoln, a man of humble origins and unwavering conviction, assumes the presidency, determined to preserve the Union. We see him in photographs, his face etched with the burden of leadership during one of America's darkest hours, a time of unprecedented turmoil. The Civil War rages, a brutal conflict that tests the very soul of the nation, pitting brother against brother in a fight for the country's future. Lincoln, with his Gettysburg Address, eloquently reminds us that a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal must not perish from this earth. His words echo through time, a call to honor the sacrifices made. We see the images of battle, the faces of soldiers, both Union and Confederate, caught in a struggle that transcends individual lives, a fight for the very soul of America. And then a moment of hope, a glimmer of light in the darkness. The Emancipation Proclamation, a document that changes the course of history, forever altering the social fabric of the United States, declaring freedom for those who had been enslaved. Lincoln's legacy is forever intertwined with the abolition of slavery, a testament to his unwavering belief in the promise of equality and justice for all. The war ends, but the nation remains scarred, its landscapes and people forever changed by the conflict. Ulysses S. Grant, the Union general who led the North to victory, becomes president, tasked with the monumental challenge of healing a divided nation. His presidency is marked by efforts to rebuild the shattered South and integrate formerly enslaved people into society, a complex and often contentious process. Reconstruction, a period of both progress and deep-seated resistance, lays the groundwork for the civil rights struggles of the coming century, setting the stage for future generations to continue the fight for equality. As the 20th century dawns, America emerges as a global power, a nation brimming with ambition and innovation. The streets of New York City, bustling with life, symbolize the rapid urbanization and industrial growth that define this era. Theodore Roosevelt, the energetic and charismatic trustbuster, leads the nation into a new era of progressivism. His larger-than-life persona and relentless drive for reform make him a pivotal figure in American history. We see him in film footage, his booming voice echoing through crowded halls, advocating for conservation, for the regulation of big business, and for a place for America on the world stage. His efforts lay the groundwork for future environmental and economic policies. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, elected during the depths of the Great Depression, guides the nation through its greatest economic crisis. His leadership and vision provide a beacon of hope during these dark times. His New Deal programs, captured in newsreels and photographs, provide relief for the unemployed, reform for the financial system, and a renewed sense of hope for a nation battered by hardship. These initiatives not only address immediate needs but also lay the foundation for long-term economic stability. World War II engulfs the globe, and Roosevelt, in his iconic wheelchair, rallies the nation to defend freedom against tyranny. His resolve and determination inspire a generation to stand firm in the face of unprecedented global conflict. His leadership during the war cements America's place as a global superpower. The victory celebrations and the nation's newfound status on the world stage are testaments to his enduring legacy. John F. Kennedy, young and full of idealism, ushers in a new era of hope and progress. His vision for a better future resonates deeply with the American people. His words, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country," resonate with a generation eager to make its mark on the world. His speeches inspire a sense of duty and collective responsibility. We see him in televised speeches, his charisma and vision captivating the nation. His ability to connect with people through the medium of television marks a new era in political communication. The space race, the Cold War, and the struggle for civil rights define his presidency, cut tragically short by assassination. His untimely death leaves a lasting impact on the nation and the world. Ronald Reagan, the former actor-turned-politician, ushers in an era of conservatism. His policies and leadership style reflect a shift in the nation's political landscape. His economic policies, his staunch anti-communist stance, and his ability to connect with the American people reshape the political landscape. Reaganomics, as his economic approach is known, aims to stimulate growth and reduce government intervention. We see him in news footage, his folksy charm and unwavering beliefs resonating with a nation seeking stability and strength. His presidency leaves an indelible mark on American history, influencing the country's direction for years to come. The fall of the Berlin Wall marks the end of the Cold War and ushers in a new era of globalization. This momentous event symbolizes the triumph of democracy and the beginning of a more interconnected world. Bill Clinton, the first Democratic president since Jimmy Carter, presides over an era of economic prosperity and relative peace. His administration is marked by significant economic growth, technological advancements, and a budget surplus. We see him in news clips, his charisma and ability to connect with people from all walks of life on full display. Clinton's charm and relatability make him a beloved figure, despite the controversies that mar his presidency. The 21st century begins with the tragic events of 9/11, forever altering the course of American history. The attacks lead to a profound sense of vulnerability and a re-evaluation of national security policies. George W. Bush, thrust into the role of wartime president, leads the nation in the war on terror. His leadership during this crisis defines his presidency and shapes the global political landscape for years to come. His presidency is defined by the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, the controversial Patriot Act, and the ongoing debate over the balance between security and civil liberties. These decisions spark intense national and international debates. Barack Obama, the nation's first African-American president, takes office amidst a global financial crisis. His election brings hope and a sense of historic change to a country in need of new direction. His election is a watershed moment in American history, a testament to the progress made in the fight for racial equality. Obama's presidency inspires millions and represents a significant step forward in the nation's ongoing journey toward justice. We see him in high-definition video, his message of hope and change resonating with a nation weary of war and economic uncertainty. His eloquence and vision for a better future captivate the American public. His presidency is marked by the Affordable Care Act, the end of the Iraq War, and the killing of Osama bin Laden. These achievements highlight his commitment to healthcare reform, ending prolonged conflicts, and combating terrorism. Donald Trump, a businessman and reality TV star with no prior political experience, wins a stunning victory in the 2016 election. His unexpected rise to power shocks the political establishment and signals a shift in American politics. His presidency is marked by deep political divisions, a rollback of environmental regulations, and a confrontational approach to foreign policy. Trump's tenure is characterized by his unorthodox style and polarizing policies. We see him in news footage and on social media, his unconventional style and rhetoric upending traditional political norms. His use of social media redefines presidential communication and engagement with the public. Joe Biden, a veteran politician who served as vice president under Obama, becomes the 46th president of the United States. His extensive experience and promise of stability appeal to a nation seeking reassurance. His presidency is marked by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the withdrawal of American troops from Afghanistan, and efforts to address climate change and racial injustice. Biden's administration faces numerous challenges but remains focused on healing and progress. We see him in news footage, his message of unity and his commitment to restoring America's standing in the world, resonating with a nation seeking stability and leadership. Biden's efforts to rebuild alliances and tackle pressing issues reflect his dedication to a better future. And so we stand at the precipice of the future, looking back at the long line of presidents who have shaped the destiny of the United States. Each leader, flawed and human, has grappled with the immense responsibility of guiding a nation through times of peace and prosperity, war and hardship. We see their faces etched in history, their words echoing through the corridors of time. From the stoic determination of Washington to the soaring rhetoric of Kennedy, from the quiet strength of Lincoln to the unwavering optimism of Reagan, each president has left an indelible mark on the American story. Their successes and failures, their triumphs and tragedies, serve as a reminder that the journey of a nation is never truly finished. It is a story that continues to unfold, shaped by the choices of each generation. As we look to the future, we are reminded that the legacy of these presidents is not merely etched in stone or preserved in archives. It lives on in the very fabric of American society, in the ideals of liberty and equality, in the pursuit of justice and opportunity for all. The American presidency, a beacon of hope and a lightning rod for controversy, continues to captivate the world. It is a position of immense power and responsibility, one that demands the very best of those who hold it. As we have seen, the men who have occupied the Oval Office have come from diverse backgrounds, held different beliefs, and faced unique challenges. Yet they have all shared one thing in common: the privilege and the burden of leading a nation. The story of the American presidency is not just a history lesson, it is a living, breathing narrative that continues to unfold before our very eyes. Who will write the next chapter? What new challenges and opportunities await the leaders of tomorrow? These are questions that only time can answer. But one thing is certain, the journey of a nation is never truly over, and the quest for a more perfect union continues.